Most RVers break the law without even knowing it, not once, but over and over. From illegal parking to quiet violations that could get your rig towed or your trip ruined. Today, we're revealing hidden RV laws that could cost you hundreds, or your freedom. Let's get rolling. Think you can park your RV overnight anywhere vehicles are allowed? Think again. Across America, cities and towns are quietly enacting local ordinances that ban overnight RV parking, often without clear signage to warn you. The consequences are real. $250 fines, middle-of-the-night police visits, or even having your RV towed. These laws target vehicles based on size, type, and how long you stay. Even a few hours of sleep can be considered illegal camping. The problem extends beyond busy cities. Tourist-heavy small towns are cracking down to prevent congestion and discourage full-time RVers from settling in. Code enforcement officers patrol regularly, citing violators whether they're in stealth setups on quiet residential streets or parked in seemingly harmless public lots. What makes this particularly frustrating is the inconsistency. You might legally park in one town, then drive 5 miles and face a hefty fine for the same behavior. These local ordinances vary dramatically, creating a patchwork of confusing regulations. Research municipal codes before you arrive, and use apps like Campendium or iOverlander to get real-time reports from other RVers about parking experiences. These tools can help you identify truly safe spots and avoid costly surprises. The days of winging it with overnight RV parking are over. A little preparation can save you hundreds of dollars and a lot of stress. Many RVers discover this harsh reality too late. Numerous private RV parks across America enforce a strict 10-year rule that can bar entry to any recreational vehicle older than a decade, regardless of its condition. This isn't government regulation, it's private property policy with full legal backing. Campgrounds operating as businesses can set appearance and age standards for vehicles, just like any private establishment can control who enters their premises. The enforcement is getting tougher in 2025. Some parks now require photos before accepting reservations. Others simply turn you away at the gate, potentially leaving you scrambling for alternative accommodations in unfamiliar territory. The legal consequences are real. If you refuse to leave after being denied entry, you could face trespassing charges. Some RVers have been fined or had their vehicles towed for ignoring park policies. This rule particularly impacts full-timers, budget-conscious travelers, and retirees who often own older but well-maintained rigs. As upscale RV resorts expand in popular tourist destinations, these age restrictions are becoming increasingly common. Your protection strategy is simple but essential. Always verify park policies before booking. If your RV is over 10 years old, maintain current photos and detailed maintenance records to demonstrate its excellent condition. Some parks will make exceptions for obviously well-kept older units. Don't let this rule catch you off guard. A few minutes of research can prevent a costly, stressful surprise that could derail your entire trip. America's most stunning RV destinations often hide expensive traps, strict vehicle length restrictions that can turn your dream drive into a legal nightmare. Exceed these restrictions, even by inches, and you could face fines up to $1,000, forced detours, or citations on treacherous mountain roads with nowhere to turn around. These limits exist for safety. Tight switchbacks, low-clearance tunnels, blind corners, and dangerous drop-offs make oversized vehicles genuinely hazardous. But the warning signs aren't always obvious, and standard GPS apps routinely route RVers into violations because they don't account for vehicle size. The enforcement is real. At Zion National Park, oversized rigs must pay special escort fees just to navigate certain tunnels, and skipping this requirement means legal trouble. Park rangers and local authorities don't negotiate, and "I didn't know" won't protect you from hefty fines. Your defense requires preparation. Know your exact rig measurements, including tow vehicles, bike racks, and any rear-mounted equipment. Authorities measure precisely. Research routes beforehand using RV-specific navigation apps like RV Life, Copilot, or Garmin that account for vehicle dimensions. Don't let breathtaking scenery blind you to expensive restrictions. A few minutes of route planning can save you thousands in fines and prevent dangerous situations on roads never designed for oversized vehicles. Running your RV generator might seem like a basic right, but strict time restrictions across public lands can lead to hefty fines and camping bans if you're not careful. Most state parks, national forests, and BLM lands enforce quiet hours that typically prohibit generator use from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., though exact times vary by location. Break these rules and you're looking at fines ranging from $100 to $500, plus potential eviction from your campsite. The real trap? Many boondocking spots don't post obvious signs. These restrictions are often buried in regional ordinances or dispersed camping guidelines that most RVers never read. Rangers and enforcement officers have full legal authority to issue citations on the spot for violations. As off-grid camping grows more popular, some areas are becoming even stricter to preserve natural quiet for wildlife and other campers. Repeated violations can get you permanently banned from returning to popular BLM-managed areas or dispersed camping zones. Your protection strategy starts with research. Always check site-specific quiet hours before arriving. Invest in solar panels or lithium battery systems when possible to reduce generator dependence. If you must use a generator, choose quieter inverter models that produce less noise pollution. Never assume no one is around means you're safe to run equipment during restricted hours. Enforcement officers patrol regularly, even in remote areas. Generators are valuable tools, but misusing them can cost you both money and future access to your favorite camping spots. While most RVers religiously check bridge heights, weight restrictions remain a dangerous blind spot that can trigger massive fines, criminal charges, or financial disaster. Across America's rural backroads, scenic byways, and small-town bridges, legally enforced gross vehicle weight restrictions, GVWR, apply to all vehicles, including yours. These limits typically range from 6,000 to 20,000 pounds, and many Class A motorhomes or heavy tow setups easily exceed these thresholds. The consequences extend far beyond simple traffic tickets. Violating posted weight limits can result in fines from $250 to over $1,000. But the real financial nightmare begins if your rig damages infrastructure. You could be held personally responsible for bridge repairs, culvert replacement, or road surface restoration, costs that often reach tens of thousands of dollars. In some states, exceeding weight limits can trigger criminal charges for reckless operation or neglect of traffic control devices, adding misdemeanor convictions to your record. The enforcement is getting more aggressive. Many states now operate portable weigh stations and conduct surprise spot checks, particularly targeting RVs on scenic routes where violations are common. Your protection requires knowing your exact GVWR and combined towing weight. Use RV-specific GPS systems with weight routing filters that avoid restricted roads entirely. Watch for yellow diamond warning signs indicating weight limits, and never assume that seeing other RVs means the route is legal. One wrong turn down a restricted road can cost thousands in fines, repairs, or legal fees, or leave you stranded with no legal way forward. Most RVers know never to dump black tank waste illegally, but many don't realize that gray water violations can be just as expensive and legally serious. Releasing gray water, even seemingly harmless soapy water from sinks or showers, onto the ground, into storm drains, or anywhere in the environment is illegal in most states and counties. Fines range from $100 to over $2,000, with some jurisdictions treating it as serious environmental contamination. The violations often happen during extended boondocking or stealth camping. RVers assume that since gray water doesn't smell like sewage, it's safe to let it trickle out slowly. But legally, there's little distinction. Discharging anything from your RV onto public or private land without authorization constitutes illegal dumping. Enforcement is particularly aggressive on BLM land, near waterways, and within city limits where environmental sensitivity is high. Rangers and local law enforcement regularly patrol these areas, issuing tickets and potentially banning violators from future land use. Your compliance strategy is straightforward. Use legal dump stations for all wastewater, invest in portable gray tanks for extended boondocking, and never dump within 200 feet of natural water sources. Don't let "it's just water" thinking cost you thousands in fines or permanent bans from your favorite camping areas. The law treats all RV waste discharge seriously, regardless of its appearance or smell. Owning property doesn't automatically give you the right to live in your RV full-time. Across America, local zoning laws frequently prohibit using recreational vehicles as permanent residences, even on land you own, and violations can trigger hefty fines, forced evictions, or property liens. These restrictions stem from building codes and residential zoning ordinances that classify RVs as temporary dwellings, not permanent housing. Municipalities require full-time residences to meet structural and safety standards like proper foundations, insulation, fire exits, and approved sewage systems that RVs can't satisfy. Most counties limit RV stays to 14 to 30 days within 60 to 90-day periods, treating longer occupancy as illegal permanent residence. Code enforcement officers and neighbor complaints often trigger investigations, especially when they notice utility hookups or obvious long-term setups. Living off-grid can compound legal problems if it violates local health codes, particularly when you're not connected to approved septic or water systems. Some jurisdictions penalize alternative living arrangements regardless of environmental impact. The legal landscape varies dramatically. Neighboring counties within the same state often have completely different rules, making compliance challenging for RV owners. Your protection requires thorough research before settling anywhere. Check county zoning laws and RV residency regulations, never assume rural property equals legal living, and obtain permits for extended stays where available. Don't let zoning ignorance cost you thousands in legal fees or force you to abandon your RV lifestyle. One misunderstood ordinance can destroy your housing plans and financial security. The assumption that public land equals free camping is becoming dangerously outdated. In 2025, many BLM areas, national forests, and state recreation zones now require special permits for overnight stays, and the enforcement is getting aggressive. These permit-required zones aren't always gated or clearly marked. You might drive miles down remote dirt roads, park at what appears to be an open campsite, and unknowingly violate permit requirements. Rangers and enforcement officers routinely patrol these areas, issuing citations from $100 to $500 for unpermitted camping. Popular dispersed camping states like Arizona, Utah, and Colorado have tightened rules due to overcrowding, environmental damage, and trash problems at previously free sites. While many permits are inexpensive, sometimes just $10 to $20, displaying them is mandatory, and violations carry the same penalties regardless of cost. The enforcement method is evolving too. Many districts now use QR code signs, online-only permit systems, or require stops at ranger stations located miles from actual campsites. Some areas expect you to research and obtain permits before arrival with no on-site assistance available. Legal ignorance provides no protection once a citation is issued. Officers don't negotiate, and "I didn't see a sign" won't reduce your fine. Your defense requires proactive research. Check local BLM field office websites and National Forest District pages before traveling. Search specifically for dispersed camping permit, plus your destination. Always verify requirements and print permits before heading into remote areas. Don't let free camping assumptions cost you hundreds in unexpected fines. Installing aftermarket window tinting on your RV for privacy and temperature control seems like a smart upgrade, until you discover that state tint laws can turn your investment into expensive legal trouble. Window tint regulations vary dramatically across states, with fines ranging from $100 to over $500 for violations. Each state sets specific visible light transmission (VLT) requirements, the percentage of light that must pass through your windows. California requires 70% VLT on front side windows, while Florida allows as low as 28%. Some states regulate only front windshields and driver windows, while others apply rules to all windows except rear ones. The enforcement trap catches many RVers off guard. If your RV is registered in a lenient state but you're traveling through a stricter one, you can still be cited. Police officers enforce local laws regardless of where your vehicle is registered or where the tint was installed. Reflective or mirrored tints, popular on RVs for heat reduction, are prohibited in many states and often attract unwanted law enforcement attention, especially in border regions with heightened patrol activity. Your protection strategy requires knowing your tint's exact VLT rating. Ask your installer or use a light meter to verify. Keep tint certificates if your state requires them, and consider rolling down windows during traffic stops to avoid triggering suspicion. Don't let window tinting designed to improve your RV experience become a costly legal headache. Research destination state requirements before traveling and ensure your tint meets the strictest standards you'll encounter. Rest areas might seem like perfect overnight RV stops, free, convenient, and accessible, but treating them like campgrounds can trigger fines, middle-of-the-night police visits, and permanent bans. Most states enforce strict time limits for rest area parking, typically ranging from 8 to 24 hours. Texas, Georgia, and Washington often limit stays to 8 to 12 hours, while Florida and Oregon allow up to 24 hours. But time limits are just the beginning of potential violations. Many states prohibit camping behavior even during legal parking windows. This includes extending slide-outs, setting up chairs, running generators, or using outdoor equipment. In some jurisdictions, simply sleeping inside your RV at a rest area constitutes illegal overnight camping on state property. The enforcement varies wildly. Some rest stops are actively patrolled, others rarely checked. But if you're reported by other travelers or draw attention with obvious camping setups, Highway Patrol can issue fines from $50 to $300, force immediate departure, or ban you from future use of state rest areas. The rules aren't consistently posted, and they vary not only by state but sometimes by individual rest stop, making compliance challenging for travelers. Your protection requires checking official state DOT websites for specific rest area regulations before stopping. Keep a low profile by avoiding any camping equipment, keeping slide-outs retracted, and treating rest areas exactly as intended, for rest, not residence. Use rest stops for quick naps or necessary breaks, but find proper campgrounds for extended stays. Legally carrying firearms for RV protection seems straightforward until you cross state lines, where your concealed carry permit might become worthless and your legal gun could trigger felony charges. Gun laws vary drastically between states, and what's perfectly legal in your home state may constitute serious crimes elsewhere. States like California, New York, New Jersey, and Illinois have strict transport laws that often don't recognize out-of-state permits. Simply having a loaded weapon in your RV, even locked away, can result in unlawful possession charges. The consequences are severe: fines, firearm confiscation, arrest, and criminal charges that permanently damage your record. These aren't minor traffic violations. They're serious felonies that can destroy your life. Federal law provides limited protection through the Firearm Owners Protection Act, FOPA, but only for travelers passing through states under strict conditions. Firearms must be unloaded, locked in compartments separate from ammunition, and you must travel continuously without unnecessary stops. Stopping overnight at campgrounds or even extended gas stops in restrictive states can void this protection entirely. Your compliance strategy requires researching every state's firearm transport laws before crossing borders. Use proper legal storage, locked cases, unloaded weapons, and separately stored ammunition. Never rely solely on your home state's carry permit for legal protection in other jurisdictions. Even routine RV trips can become legal nightmares when firearms are involved. Know the specific laws for every state on your route, or risk losing your gun, your RV, and potentially your freedom to criminal prosecution. Those extra-wide, conveniently located RV sites that seem perfect for your rig might be illegal to occupy, and the fines can reach $1,000 for a single violation. ADA-compliant parking spaces and campsites are legally reserved for individuals with disabilities, and using them without proper authorization constitutes a serious offense in most states. These spots are often attractive to RVers because they feature wider pads, level ground, and close restroom access, exactly what larger rigs need. But federal ADA laws require campgrounds at state parks, national parks, and municipal RV facilities to reserve designated spaces for disabled visitors. Even if these sites appear empty or underused, occupying them without a valid handicap placard or license plate can trigger immediate fines ranging from $500 to $1,000, plus forced removal by park staff or law enforcement. Enforcement is increasing. Rangers now routinely scan license plates and check for visible placards to verify ADA access rights. The "I didn't know" defense provides no legal protection. If the site displays blue lines, signage, or ADA indicators, you're responsible for understanding and respecting those designations. Your compliance is straightforward. Avoid any space marked with ADA indicators. Never assume "first come, first served" applies to accessible sites. And if you have a qualifying disability, ensure your placard is visible and current. Don't let the appeal of a premium campsite location cost you hundreds in fines and damage your reputation with park management. Respect ADA spaces. They serve essential needs for travelers with disabilities. RV life is all about learning, but some lessons come with a fine. Have you ever been hit with a weird rule or surprise ticket? Drop it in the comments. Your story could save someone's trip. And if you want to protect yourself even more, don't miss our next video. Top RV mistakes that'll get you kicked out of campgrounds. You'll be shocked at what people do. See you there.